Morning, everyone. Boker Tov. So we're talking about Bikur Cholim and also laws of Refuah. So if the person passes, then there is a question about organ donation. So organ donation, in short, the way it goes is if it's something that you have multiple of, you have multiple kidneys, you have a lot of blood, marrow, tissue, stem cells, that you could live, therefore, without some of it, it will regenerate, etc. So you can donate those items. But things that you only have one of, let's say a heart, you can't donate. Now you say, okay, well, I'll donate after I die. So there's halachot regarding kavod hamet, and also sometimes those organs need to be harvested. Let's say a person's on a ventilator, like moments before they die. So could even get into questions of retzicha. Now again, this is a very complicated thing. That's the general parameters. There might be some wiggle room, so to speak, but those are the general parameters. And often when I talk about this, there's a story that I mentioned that I read once, and the story goes of an Israeli couple that moved to Las Vegas because they had a child that moved out there, and they lived there for a few years, and the husband passed away, and they're in the hospital, they're grieving, etc. And the doctor came in and told the wife, okay, we're going to start harvesting in half an hour. She said, what are you talking about harvesting? Said, yeah, he signed on his driver's license that he wants his organ donation. She said, the wife said, look, my husband doesn't understand English, he probably signed something and, he didn't know what he was talking about. They said, no problem, we understand, there's sometimes mistakes. So you're the wife? She says, yes. So she said, okay, just give us your marriage license so that you're the really authority here to make a decision. And they moved from Israel, they got married 100 years ago, whatever it was, and they had a ketubah, they didn't have the marriage license in place, and she tried and tried and tried. The children tried it, they couldn't produce a marriage license in time, and unfortunately, they harvested his body. And so much so that it says in the story, when they were finished, they came back an hour later, we could get more things. And it was just so devastating for the family. And the family they wrote it, and they want to publicize the story to raise awareness, to be on the ball and make sure not to sign things that you don't realize you're signing and things like that. So maybe if you move out to Nevada to know what you're getting into when you live there. But just one of the things to keep these type of things in mind. Can't do procedures that will end life sooner, pulling the plug, etc. We're going to be talking about that this Shabbat. The Shabbat is, if you see on the bulletin, to raise awareness about MAID, medical assistance in dying. We'll talk about that on Shabbat, B'ezrat Hashem. Someone that is sick can use blood transfusion or donor milk. We're discussing that a little bit now with our daughter's situation from a non-Jew if Jewish milk isn't available. We know the famous midrash or that Moshe Rabbeinu or the Torah. Moshe Rabbeinu didn't want to drink from the Ivriot, and they brought his mother Yocheved, right? So the Shulchan Aruch rules. It's not that it's asur, but there's an element of kedusha. I mean, Moshe knew he was going to speak to the at that time to the Shekhinah, so you have to have a holy mouth. So a person could say, well, I'm not Moshe Rabbeinu. But the answer is that we always have to strive to be like Moshe Rabbeinu, to try our best. So it's not asur, but it's definitely ideal to have Jewish blood or Jewish milk. And lastly, there's a question regarding life insurance. Can a person get life insurance or not? What's the question? Number one is maybe it's a lack of emunah, lack of faith. Like, whatever, I'm going to live throughout my life, I'll produce for my family. Is it a lack of emunah? So on that, it's not, because it's just like an investment. You're leaving for your kids, exactly. It's not a lack of, you're leaving for your kids just like you work, you save, meaning there's some tzaddikim on the highest of levels that they didn't save because Hashem's going to give me tomorrow. What do I need to save for? Okay, we're not on that level. We're we have to be on if a person's on that the highest level, great tzaddikim, then. But in general, it's okay. Well, there are some that say that maybe life insurance is a kitrug, what's a good word for kitrug? Is, so to speak, in Shamayim, the bad angels are saying something derogatory against you. Why? And let's say a person has $1 million policy. And now the guy is 75 years old, 85 years old, he's not working, he's not producing. So what's his value to his family? He's probably more valuable not to say everyone, whatever, but this person might be more valuable, that $1 million policy, than him sticking around and grouching around at home, right? So in Shamayim, it could be like, comes Yom Kippur, the guy wants life, Hashem, give me life. Hold on a second. You're probably more valuable if you're dead, Chas v'shalom, right? So it could be a kitrug on a person if he gets a life insurance policy. So that, at the end of the day, is still okay. But it does teach us that a person in his lifetime should make sure that he's more valuable alive than that $1 million policy, even a $5 million policy, when he's dead. Produce and mitzvot and Torah and Ma'asim Tovim, you show Hashem, I'm here. And these mitzvot are much more precious than the $1 million policy that I have. But to always be more valuable, so that's a push for us, not that policy is more valuable. So at the end of the day, it is mutar, but to have this important lesson in mind. We want to wish Yosef safe travels back to New York. He might be with us in a few weeks, we'll see, again. But stay safe and New York. And we will see you again soon. We always enjoy having you. We'll see you again soon, Mizrat Hashem. Minichat tonight, 4:25. Gemara Shiurs tonight. We didn't have one last night. Tonight, 8:30. Also, I want to mention we have Rabbi Perek with us. Rabbi Ilan Perek. He's come a few times, and unfortunately, he would come for the sickness of his wife and the sustaining his 9 children. His wife since has passed, but he still has the burden of the parnasah of his family. If anyone could help out, that's greatly appreciated. He also has e-transfer if anyone could help out as well. Have a good day, everyone. Tani Develiel.